Okay, so let's commence, and others will be joined with us, right? Okay, people. Good morning again. Today we are going to talk about a new lesson, which is called Internet, right? It is about how we are going to use the internet and what are the resources or what are the facilities that is given by the internet for the users who are going to use that. This is a small lesson. I hope we will be able to finish it very soon, so we can move to the next lesson as well. Not by today, by within next week, right? Let's carry out. I hope all you have got your textbooks with you and just mark the places where I asking you to write down or to highlight it, right? Okay, I'm going to share the screen so it will be easier for me to explain. Right, so these are the competencies, like the topics that we are going to follow up. They have given an introduction. So you know what internet is now, right? Because you always connect into it to do various kind of things, to download audios and videos, to refer to see audios and videos, to play games, right? To find information, right? But have you ever think who have given us this service? This internet belongs to someone. Do you think the internet is belonging to someone, like it is owned by some company? They are not. That is not been owned by any company. What is happening is there is a organization which is a non-profitable organization called the Internet Society. They are maintaining the standards and principles regarding the internet. So anyone who has an internet connection can be a part of the internet. When you are logged into the internet, so you will be a part of that big group of people who's using resources and sharing things among each other, right? So So likewise, internet can be, internet does not have single owner. Uh, Actually, it does not owned by anyone, but it is managed by a group of people, which is called internet society, right? And they are the people who is making rules for rules inside the internet. So those rules uh, which are being related to the data manipulation, or like data management, are called protocols, right? So we are facing, or we are finding a lot of protocols when we are using internet. The most common protocol is the HTTP. Now, if I take you to to any site with the address, you can see the HTTP word, right? Yeah, let me share this screen and show you how the protocol is working. Right. I hope you can see this. Yeah, can everyone see my browser? Just give me a confirmation through chat. Yes, people. Right, good. Okay, so I'll take you to the my website, starlabs.lk. So, right. Good morning, Minagi. Uh, so here you won't see anything, but once you click the web address, like if I copy it and paste it to somewhere, yeah, see, now when I'm pasting that address, which is this address on a notepad, so you can see, I think someone sent me a message, what it is. Leandra, the page number is the 64th page of your textbook. Third lesson. Right, so once I copy this web address to a notepad, so you can you can see it with the with the protocol, which is this. Now this part is not visible in here, right? But it says HTTP. So this is stand for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. You will be learn about it in the near future. So this is called a protocol, which is a rule which has been made by the Internet Society regarding the data uh, managing, or like data management, or like data transferring management inside the internet. So now, since we are having a video conference through internet, so now we all of us are being a part of the internet, which is being managed by the Internet Society. Right. So regarding the note, introduction to internet. Yeah, you better mark these places. So I'll tell you what to be written in your books, right? Yes. So you can put down the main heading, right? And the subheading, introduction to the internet. And you can write the very first line. The internet is a collection of computer networks around the world, right? And hold on. Yeah, and you better highlight this as well as your second point. The internet, which renders such a big service, does not possess a single owner. A non-profitable organization called Internet Society is in charge of. Yeah, it's a little bit big sentence. It goes up to here. Right, so those two lines are sufficient. Did everyone got what I said? Yes, everyone. මං කියන එක පැහැදිලි නේද පුතේ? All right, thank you, Leandra. How about others? All right, okay, Nidasa, thank you. People, අනික් කට්ටිය මොකද උනේ? නින්ද ගිහිලාද ඉන්නේ? Okay. Right. So, in the next part, in the next page, they are asking you to like clarify or like investigate what a URL is. Now, what I have been copied, or like the address that I have copied, this is called a URL. URL is stand for Uniform Resource Locator. Now, URL is the thing that you are going to type on your browser's browser's address bar, right? When you take a browser, the place where you're going to type the web addresses is named as the address bar. So here, if we are given a correct name of a website, which means the URL, it will carry you to the correct website, right? Now, this is my website, so starlabs.lk. So if you say google.com, right? Oh, sorry. Right, google.com, it will carry you to the google.com website, right? If I say yahoo.com, and it is giving you suggestions as well, right? It's going to the yahoo.com, right? So like nowadays, like in the modern days, we really don't need to type www.yahoo.com to reach the website. It's just the yahoo.com is sufficient because www will be always there. But if you really copy this web address, now if I copy this and paste it to my notepad, I'll paste it to a Word so I can increase the size. Hold on, I can do it here as well. Right, if I paste the link that I copied, see, it came like https://www.yahoo.com, right? So likewise, these things are called URL, which is stand for Uniform Resource Locator, right? Uniform Resource Locator means a name which is there to identify a website or a resource inside the internet where we can access, right? Excuse me. Right, so let's clarify the things which is inside the URL. So this is something familiar to you now, right? So unlike the URLs that I've taken, right? So these are the URL that I have taken. So HTTP is there, here HTTP and HTTPS is there. So you can see they have given the extraction of HTTP. See, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. And what is this HTTPS? S is stand for secured, So this is the hypertext transfer protocol's secured manner, right? The secured protocol, right? Now, you can apply the security and guarantee the user by saying, okay, you won't be having any trouble by visiting this website. So this is on the HTTPS protocol, right? That doesn't mean the websites on the HTTP are not secure, but there is a possibility where it can lead, where you will be lead to a place which is not very secure. Now, when it comes to my website, it is on the HTTP protocol because if we need to take HTTPS, we have to purchase it from the URL providers specifically, right? Where we have to pay. So if someone can assure, now I can assure my website is secure, so that doesn't matter. You can visit to that website without a problem. But when we are visiting to a website, HTTPS will give us the feeling, okay, we are visiting to a secured one because we are on a secured protocol. So protocol and the, this is called the domain name, right? The name of the website. So in here, it's going to be like the, this is going to be the domain name, www. Yahoo is going to be the domain name. The entire part will going to be the domain, right? So those domain and the protocol is divided or like is separated using the colon and a double slash, right? Now it's better you remember these things because these things can be easily asked from your MCQs, ask in your MCQs, right? So the protocol is the first part, HTTP, and colon and a double slash is going to separate the www or the domain part from the protocol. And www stands for World Wide Web. And this edupub.gov.lk is called the domain name. It's like a name which is given to a person. So like this name cannot be taken by anyone else, right? This name is unique. So it will be used to identify a specific website, right? That is why it is called the domain name. And after that, here you have the forward slash and some text and another forward slash and some text. So when you're going that manner, we call it is the path for some resources inside the website. So if you, at the very end, it is given the resources. So in my URL copies, I don't have any resources. It's just the protocol and the domain name. That's all. That's all I'm taking, right? So let's see how the things can be gone when we are going to a resource. Let me take my website. Yeah. So can you see my URL's been changed? Right. Previously it was but just starlabs.lk. When I am click on the GIT tab, so it got changed. Starlabs.lk index.php/git. Now I'm going to click on this English not thing. Let's see what's going to happen. Yeah. Yes. Can you see now? It's starlabs.lk images, GIT resources, not for student, something, something .pdf. So I'm copying this and I'm taking back to here. Yeah, see, it's a big resource. So the HTTP is there. So www is not been indicated here. So it can be goes on this manner or without this manner. But when you are writing something to your exam, it's better you go on like this, right? So let me have www dot thing here, right? So www.starlabs.lk. So here's the protocol. Here's the World Wide Web, and this is the domain name. And these are the path: image, git resources. That is going to be, that can be considered as the path, and this is the resource. All right. So like it's a very same as per your example in your textbook, right? So it's better you know what are the parts of this URL: protocol, World Wide Web, domain name, the resource where the path to the resource inside the website, and the resource that you are going to refer, right? Yeah, so here they have given some more URLs, right? So www.moi.gov.lk is for Ministry of Education, NIE.lk, that is for National Institute of Education, Donate.lk, that's the Department of Examination. So likewise, you can have the URL, you can find URL in lot of places, and there are like millions URLs because there are millions website inside the internet, right? So if you need to locate a resource, what you need to find is the uniform resource locator, or the URL, right? Okay. Regarding the URL, yeah, put the head in. Let us examine the URL, what URL is. And you can write down these things. I'll indicate it for you. Yes, as per the very first line, you can say the third sentence of your para. To transmit this information, it's better you say that to transmit, not this, to transmit the information among the computers in the internet, the protocol called HTTP is used, right? That will be your first sentence, or the first point, right? And further, yeah. And as per the second point, you can write this: the main service which provide these information is the World Wide Web, right? So there are many different services inside the internet. www, World Wide Web, is one of them. So internet does not mean or like does not equals to the www. www is a big part of the internet. There are some more parts inside the internet, right? And yeah, it's better you continue it from that point to the end. So you start it from the main service which provide this information is called World Wide Web, and continue until the end. Right, and you better draw this clarification, right, regarding the URL, and name things correctly. Like if you can just use some color pencils or color pens to do this. Yes, that will be enough regarding that. Yeah, and it's better you write down this note as well. Can be asked for MCQ. In Uniform Resource Locator, it is must to have from HTTP protocol to domain name, right? So that means this part must be there. So if you consider the consider your clarification in the book, so it's http www.edupub.gov.lk. Until this point, it should be there, including the slash as well. Right. Have you got that? Is it clear for you? Right. Others, how about you? Right. Okay, so I'm going to continue. Right. So it is saying what is an IP address at the next page. Okay, so IP address, this is going to be a new thing for you. Maybe someone has known this about by reading about it, but IP address is a name or like is a address which indicates a computer inside the internet, right? So IP address, which is called Internet Protocol Address. So it is something like this. There are four numbers which are separated by dotted notation, right? So these numbers can be, there is a range for these numbers, which is from 0 to 255. So you can write any number in between 0 to 255 to represent these four numbers. So a format like this is called an IP address. And why we use an IP address? To identify a computer inside the internet. So then you will be having a problem why there is an domain name, because I told you domain name is a unique thing to address. So domain name is there, why we are using an IP address. So like domain name is something for us to remember, right? So we are not remembering the people by their telephone number, no? We are remembering the people by their name. So likewise, we can remember the websites by their name or their domain name, right? Uh, Google.com, Yahoo.com, Instagram.com, Facebook.com, right? So likewise. But when a computer is going to identify the resource regarding the internet, inside the internet, it should have it can't remember, it can't read the domain name by the computer. In that case you need a IP address to remember, not actually you, in case the computer needs the IP address to locate the specific computer, right? Because all these websites are on somewhere in one particular computer which is being connected to the internet 365 days 24 hours. So when I am going to connect with that computer, what I am doing is I am just typing the domain name on the browser, and there is a service inside the internet, and it will convert the domain name into the IP address and tell the computer that where you can locate this computer inside the internet. So let me show you my IP address in my in the computer when I'm connecting to the internet, right? You can find it inside the network and sharing center, right? But be very careful when you are doing this, right? So I'm clicking on the change adapter setting, and this is my internet connection. So once I double click on it, it will open you the properties window, like the status window. So when I'm click on the properties, there is something called Internet Protocol 4 version. So I'm telling my router to obtain an IP address automatically. So if you need to concrete your IP address, which you should not do, right? So you can use the following IP address. So you are doing this when you are configuring your own network, not when you are connecting to the internet. So there is another way that I can show you the real address. So here I'm just giving a command which you do not need to bother about. Ipconfig, right? Okay. Right now here, what they are giving is as the IPv4 address is my IP address for the moment, right? But this IP address is chosen automatically, which means my router is giving me this IP address. So likewise, when you are connecting to the internet, now in here, you have connected to your internet. So you can search if you are connected through the laptop or a desktop. Just open the command prompt, right? You can just type CMD to find the command prompt, right? And type this command, ipconfig, right? This is something out of your syllabus, but you can have this detail. So it will give you this kind of a clarification, and there you can find IPv4 address. IPv4, we generally call it as the IP. So this is the IP address which is being given as the IPv4 address, which is this. So there are several different IP addresses at the bottom. For the moment, you don't need to bother about those things. So I just need you to show what is my IP address is. So remember this IP address, the way of writing the IP address. It is 4 numbers which is being separated from a dot. So these numbers can be vary from 0 to 255. Right. Is it clear, everyone? Right. Good, good, good. Okay. So regarding the IP address, let's write down the things. So you can have the heading, what is an IP address? It says Internet Protocol address. Yeah. It's better you copy this first paragraph, right? Plus example. Yes, and the IP is given by the internet service provider. Like now, who is the internet service provider at your side? There are many internet service providers inside our country. So those are the one who is giving us the internet service. In simple words, if you purchase a router from the Dialog, so Dialog will be your internet service provider. If you purchase a router from Mobitel, Mobitel will be your internet service provider, right? So likewise, all the telecommunication companies in the Sri Lanka are providing internet service for us. So they are called internet service providers, in short form, ISPs, right? So it's better you copy this paragraph as well, right? Because it gives you the needed points. Right. Let's move forward. What is a domain name? Now we are going to talk about this, regarding this. Sorry. Regarding www.edupub.gov.lk, the domain name, right? So, so domain name, even though domain name consists of several parts inside it, right? So like this entire, sorry, this thing can be called as a domain name. So in there, this .com part, or like the part which is gone after the dot, so there will be www dot, and there is some word, some text to represent the website name, and there will be another dot, then after there will be some names, right? So that is called the domain, right? This entire thing called domain name, and this the part which is after the dot is called domain, right? So there can be just one domain, and there can be several domains, right? So if I refer to your book, the examples that they have said, now here the www dot, sorry, the www.google.com domain name is google.com, and they have said top level domain as com, right? Here edupub.gov.lk as domain name, and top level domain is .lk, this is. And gov can be considered as a domain as well, but it is not top level domain, right? So there can be several domains, right? But the very last one which we are writing is called the top level domain, right? So when you are given a IP address, there will be separate things, which is so the www can be taken as the World Wide Web indication, and then the Unicode. In here, I am talking about the very last one. The Unicode can be considered as the name of the website, and .org is going to be the top level domain, right? So likewise, you better remember there can be more than one domain for IP address like this, and the one who is representing at the very end before the slash. So you can indicate there is a slash when the URL is going to be a lengthier one. So before the slash, the one you are finding is called the top level domain. Is that clear to you guys? Yes, people? Everyone? Are you clear with the top level domain and the domains? Okay, Nikini, thank you. Right. So I need you to find the top level domain of this address. Tell me what is the top level domain of this address? You can give me the chat. Yes, yes, Leandra, it's LK. Yes, Sanelia, the answer is correct. It is LK. And if I write you something, right. So the one which I'm highlighting on the notepad. So tell me what is the protocol? So you can go through your book and see and tell me what is the protocol. Yes, everyone. Just from this web address I'm asking, right? Type me the protocol part. You can follow not the no, not Leandro. That is not the protocol. What you are writing is the domain name. Yes, Nikini, the answer is correct. HTTP, right? HTTP is the protocol part. So what is the resource of this web address? Yes, everyone. What is the resource of this web address? You can refer to your textbook where we discuss about the URL. Yes, olevel.pdf here, which is correct. And what is the domain name? Yes, anyone? What is the domain name? Yeah. Leandra, it should be without www part because www is indicating the service. Without the www part, abc.pub.gov.org is going to be the domain name, right? Okay, then tell me the domains that you can find in here. There are several domains inside this address. Yeah, org is a domain. Okay, what else? ABC is the name of the website, right? Gov is a domain cellular, which is correct. And as well as, what is the other one? PUB, yes, PUB also can be taken as a domain. And what should be the top level domain? Yes, Leandra, which is correct. The org. Right. So you have the idea, right? As per the part of URL. Right. So let's see what we are going to write regarding the domain name, right? Yeah. So you can have the subheading as what is domain name, right? And regarding that, yes, you can write this particular sentence: domain name given an identity to all the website which exist on the internet. That will be your first point. And it's better you copy the table, right? So here in the table, they have describe what are the what are the extractions, right? So like com is standing for commercial, org is standing for organization, which are non-profitable ones. Gov stand for public, means I mean the government meaning. Edu stand for education. Net is stand for web.net. Is stand for web, to indicate that is in the web, right? And as well as you need to write this: the following country domains are used to represent the country related to the domain. So IN is regarding the India, and AU is regarding the Australia, JP for Japan, UK for United Kingdom, US for United States. And for us, what it is for Sri Lanka? Yes, anyone? To indicate Sri Lanka, it is LK, yes. LK is used to indicate Sri Lanka. So it's better you copy this sentence plus the table, right? Yeah, as well as you can go through the top level domain clarification as well, and you better copy this table as well. Right. I think everyone has marked the things on your textbooks. Yeah, is it clear up to this point, people? Oh, yes. Others, how about the, do you need anything to be clarified again? Right. Okay. So, right, let's continue. How internet works. Yes. Now, this is an interesting part. Now, I have told you this before. When we need to visit to a certain website, how we are going to visit? We are going to type the website address on the browser, right? So, excuse me. If I need to visit google.com, so I just type google.com, right? So it will take me to the google.com. If I need to visit yahoo.com, I just type the name and press enter. So it will direct me to the yahoo.com. But actually what is happening is computer cannot understand what is yahoo.com is. What computer can understand is, we know it can understand ones and zeros, right? So those ones and zeros are represented using the IP address. So actually what a machine is doing, once we are given this domain name or the URL to the browser, there is another server which is serving to us, which is called DNS server, domain name service server, which is able to convert or map this domain name into an IP address, right? So in your book, there is a nice diagram regarding this. See? So the first thing is happening is user open the browser and enter a URL. And then what is happening is the operating system will direct that URL into a DNS server. And DNS server will resolve, okay, this person has typed yahoo.com. Okay, regarding yahoo.com, this is the specific IP address. And that IP address will be informed to the browser, which we cannot see directly. So like this. And once the IP address is taken by the browser, so the computer will get understand, okay, to which computer that I need to get connected. Then it will go through the internet and find the place where that particular computer is. So we call that particular computer as a web server, right? Web server is a big or like a very capable computer with high performance who is having the website inside it and connected to the internet 365 24 hours, right? So once it connected with the web server, the details from that web server is taken onto our browser so we can see the things on our browser, right? So if we take our example, so when I'm saying yahoo.com, so this name is taken to my DNS and converted to the IP address, and that IP address will be informed to this web browser. So it goes to that particular web server and taking details and showing it on my browser. Is that clear? You have to remember this part. You are giving the URL, and URL is being taken to the DNS server, and it will inform what is the IP address of that this particular URL. So using that IP address, it will connect it with the web server, which means where the resource, the computer which have the resources of this URL, then those resources will be taken to our computer. Now, if you take yahoo.com as a website, that web server, the resources of that website, all these pictures, videos, and all these things are inside a computer which is located in America, which is in the Yahoo Corporation, right? So you are connecting to that particular computer from your home. In my case, from my place, from my home, I'm connecting with the computer in America. So how my computer is finding that computer of Yahoo's by converting the domain name into IP address, so it can find that IP address by using the internet, which is being located at America. right? So once it is located that particular computer, the resources will be taken from that computer and bringing back to my screen to see the things. Now this is happening very quickly. With a few seconds, it is done and dusted, right? Is that clear, people? Let me have the feedback. And I'm going to show you something interesting after that. Yes, people, is that clear? Or if you have any questions, you can ask, or you can chat. People, just a second. I think one of our student is waiting, or like, no, I think Binu is disconnected or forwarded something. No, I think Binu has forwarded something like, Putala, it was not hard for you to connect with the session, neither. Uh, my link was okay, neither. People, it was not hard for you to connect with me, neither. You will be able to connect via my link, right? Lamai? Right, okay. Right. All right, since this is clear to you, let me show you something interesting. Now, I'm going to find the IP address of the Yahoo. We can search it in the internet, right? Or Google, right? Let me search it. IP address of yahoo.com. Right, so yeah. It's not clearly giving the IP address. Hold on. Let's search for the google.com. IP address of Google, right. Here they are giving just two numbers. Yeah, there is another way we can do this. Yeah. So google.com's IP address, I have found it here, 172.217.194.147. Now I'm copying this IP address. And I'm going to paste it up here. So I'm giving 172.217.194.147, which is an IP address, right? Let's see where we are going to redirect. See, it is being redirected to the Google. So likewise, let me do the trick for the Yahoo as well. So I'm here, I'm using the ping command. which is not in your syllabus, right? So I'm saying ping www.yahoo.com. So yeah, this is the yahoo.com's IP 248.98.8, which is belong to the computer which has Yahoo. So I'm going to take a new tab and I'm going to paste the IP address that I have copied. And once I press enter, yeah. So Yahoo is not letting us in regarding some security issues, I guess. Right. Let's refresh it and see. Yeah, it may having some security reasons for not giving us the authority to come into our site. Okay. Let's see how to connect with my site as well. Yeah. So this is my IP address, my website's IP address. Let's copy it and let's paste it here. Let's press enter. Oh no. Yeah. So it is keeping the things in the secure way. If you are the owner of this website, please contact your hosting provider. Yes, like this. So they are not letting us to like go through, but for Google it worked, right? So likewise by so this was the Google's IP address. So if I give that particular IP address here and press enter, it's connected with the Google, right? So and that IP address is changed to the domain name, right? So is it clear for you, people, so far? Yes, people. Everyone, are you with me? Please, it's better you respond so I can have the clarification. Yeah, okay, thank you. Right, so at the latter part of the page, they are just saying some protocols which is involved when you are operating with the internet, which are called hypertext transfer protocol, which we know already. And there is something called TCP/IP, Transmission Control Protocol, or Internet Protocol. Not O, those are working together, TCP and IP. And FTP, File Transfer Protocol, SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, ICMP, Internet Control Message Protocol. So it's better you remember the extraction of these words. Those can be easily asked. What stand for FTP, likewise. And the usage also been given. HTTP is used to HTML document exchange. Now you have a, as I remember, the next lesson is regarding the HTML. So HTTP is dealing with the HTML, hypertext markup language documents. You will be get cleared once you are doing the HTML lesson as well. So websites are made out of HTML, right? So they have HTML documents with them. So they just transfer it with each other. So that means exchanging things. So regarding that exchange, the law is, or the protocol is HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. And TCP/IP controlling the exchange of IP addresses, right? So IP, the way how they are going to exchange their IP addresses, that is being controlled by the TCP/IP. When you are uploading something, right, or like when you are uploading something to your Instagram, when you are uploading something to YouTube, this is the protocol that they are referring to, file transfer protocol. That's regarding the file exchange. When you are using your email, this is the protocol that they are involved in, simple mail transfer protocol, which is for the electronic mail exchange. And ICMP, Internet Control Message Protocol, informing and control messages when there are errors. Now, this is regarding the error handling protocol, right? It gives you the message regarding like regarding the message, how the things, if it occurs some error, it will informed through this protocol, right? So you don't need to like go really into these things. Only thing is you need to remember how these things are to happen, right? Okay. So regarding your how internet works subtopic, so let's highlight the things what we need to write on your books. So how the internet works is going to be your subheading, right? And yeah, you can highlight these things. Let me see. Yeah, you better copy the very last sentence, which is starting from here. When a URL is entered to the browser to view a website, the request must first be translated. Likewise, just copy up to this point, right? It's a lengthier one. There are two sentences, so you can write it down as 2 points, right? And yeah, you really don't need to write the things on here. Instead of that, you can draw this picture. So when you are going to draw it, just don't try to like draw something actually very same like this. So you can just give some notification or some you can draw it in your own way, how the things are going to happen. What I need you to have is just draw the picture to have this idea. So domain name is given, OS will be sent it to the DNS server and convert into IP address and connect into the web server, and it will give the details. So those will be shown on our screen, right? And regarding the latter part, yeah, it's better you write the entire thing because it's talking about the protocols, right? So copy the entire thing to your book. Right. Is that clear, people? Up to this point? Right. Okay. Thank you, Leandra. How about others? And I'm recording the session, people, the people who haven't, the friends who haven't connected with the session. So they can see it. I'll send you the link as well. I have sent you the links of the previous lessons as well on your chat in the WhatsApp. So you can click on that link and visit to the done. Leandra, you don't have the MLMS. I think I have. Yeah. Why don't you send me a message on the WhatsApp? Though I'll send you the username and the password. Right. Just send me the message. You need that things. I'll send you the username and the password. Okay. Right. So moving forward. So here they are talking about how the things are being fetched into your computer. So here this is us, who is taken as the client, right? And we are like querying things, we are questioning things, or we are asking things from the internet. So that question will be taken into a specific server. Server is called, server is nothing but another computer, but it's not looks alike our computer. It will be a huge one, right? Let me show you a server as well. Yeah, this is a server, right? Which we call, this is a server of the supercomputer, so it is a very complex one, right? And this is another server, like, so there are like a lot of hard disks inside this, and those will be maintained by the people. So in Google you can find such things, right? So even in here, these big computers, the system units, also considered as servers, like they have a lot of hard disks inside it, and they are they has the performance something far more better than us in our normal computers. So those computers are always connected to the internet 24 hours, 365 days. So then those servers will search things inside it, like actually the databases, right? They have data inside their hard disk. So they take those data and take it to the client, or like represent to the clients, right? So even client can like give the data or feed the data into some servers. So like when it comes to the social media kind of websites, it's the user who is maintaining that website, right? We are the people who are uploading photos, videos, and all these comments into that social media. So we are giving the contents, we are giving the data, right? So those data will be stored inside the if you take the Instagram website, it will be stored inside the Instagram web server, right? That's why you can access it from anywhere in the world, regardless of the geographical location, right? So that is called uploading the things, right? So you are uploading it. When you are taking something from the internet, we call it downloading. These are the things that you are know already, which will be a little bit awkward if I'm explain those things to you, because you know it already, right? So that is how the things we are being uploaded, and which can be downloaded, right? Okay. Yeah. So regarding this part, yeah, this is called the client server model, right? As it figure shows, client server architecture in the internet. So it's better you copy. the very first line regarding this. The internet is a wide area network which is based on the client server model. And yeah, it's better you draw the picture so you can clarify the things, right? And these 3 points, starting from this, the very first line, second line, and the third line. Right. Is it clear, people, up to this point? Yes, people? Yeah, how about others? Leandra says it's clear. Yes, Senula, thank you. Right. So I'm moving forward. They are asking you to, they are saying some servers as well. Web server, as I told you, storing web pages and providing these to client computers. So like google.com, yahoo.com, facebook.com, instagram.com. There are a lot of .coms and .lks and a lot of things. So those particular websites will be stored in particular computers, right? Now, when you take our government site, when you take the what DOENETS, the Department of Examinations website, or like the Ministry of Education websites, it is there inside the Ministry of Education in their server. There's a specific computer which has launched that Ministry of Education website. So it is always connected to the internet 24 hours, 365 days. And mail server is called a place where you store all the mails of the client computers. Now, I think you all are having a Gmail account or some email account, but those emails are not stored in your computer, right? You are just like if those mails are inside your computer, you should be able to access without an internet connection. But without the internet, you won't be able to access it. So why we are having the internet is to have the connection in between your computer and the computer which has the mails, right? So what we are actually doing is, by having a internet connection and by giving the username and the password to our email, so we are accessing that mail server. Now, mail server can be somewhere in India. All the mails of the Sri Lankan people is stored in a computer which is located in India, right? Because Google is having his mail servers in different parts of the world, right? So when we are accessing, or when we are giving username and password, we will be directed to that particular computer in India and open the mails which only belongs to us. That is why we can see the mails of ours inside our email account. We cannot see anyone else emails in our uh, computer, like through the mail. Right? If you need to access to someone else email, you have to have their username and the password to access that. But all the emails which is yours, mine, and your friends, are everything is stored inside a one computer. By giving our username and password, we are just giving our emails only from that computer. So the computer which hold those mails are called mail servers, right? So we are being client when we are connecting with that mail server. DNS server, we talked about it, neither. The purpose of that is translating URL into IP addresses. When we are discussing how we are going to connect with the internet, we discuss about this. Yeah, and it's better you note down these three things as well, right? With this subheading, let us identify some internet server computers. And hereafter, we are going to talk about the services of the internet. Right. So there are many kinds of services. The best service that we are using is World Wide Web, which gives us all the website in the world. Without www, we won't be able to access the website, right? And there are many other services which we are going to discuss down here: file transfer, remote access, file sharing, streaming of media, search engines, and electronic mails. Right. So is it clear so far? So we have discussed many different things today, which is the theory parts, plus we see some practicals as well by visiting to the web browser and having the IP addresses and all these things. Right. Is that clear so far, people? Yeah, great. All right. I'll just tell what is World Wide Web is, then I'm going to end the session for today. Right. So the very first service and the most important service of the internet is called World Wide Web. Right. So World Wide Web is there to hold all the websites in the in the world. Right. So now this World Wide Web is found by a person called Tim Berners-Lee. He's been considered as the father of World Wide Web, and Tim Berners-Lee and some his team has evolved this, or like has invented this at the very first time as a military project, which they have which they have called, which was named as Arpanet. If you search ARPANET, Arpanet, in the internet, you will be having this history of the internet, or like history of the www. And then after, it was like spreading worldwide and giving the facility for a lot of people to share their information with each other all around the globe. So to access www, or the World Wide Web, we must have a browser as the software. So to access the internet, we have several kind of things. One thing is a browser, and the other one is the internet connection. You should have an internet connection. And for above all, you should have a computer. Without a computer, you won't be able to have a browser, or you won't be able to connect with an internet connection. So with that three resources, you will be able to access World Wide Web. And in first era, or like the in the very first days of the internet, there were just websites which are giving us the information. We are not being able to interact with those things, and those were very raw. Like it's a web page with, say, a lot of words, right? No any pictures, no any videos, no any animations on those days. So later, with the improvement of the internet, people, the computer scientist who has done the experiments on this internet, www, World Wide Web, are giving us the capability to have images, videos, audios, animations, and lots of different things, like chat services and all these things inside the internet. So today, It is the most important service in our life. So like without internet, it's like we won't be able to do anything, right? So like all the information, most of the entertainment parts, and most of other resources are available in the internet these days. And we are entering to the internet by using the browser and type in a URL on the browser. So as they shown you, they have visited to the Department of Examinations website, which is called donets.lk. And these websites are created the language called HTML. It's a markup language, something like a programming language, but not a programming language, something like a programming language. But actually it's not a programming language. It is a markup language, which can be used to build things up, right? So using that HTML, we are building a website, and all these websites are having a index page. That means a first page. Like when we are typing yahoo.com, we always taken into the very same page in every time. And when we are typing google.com, it's the very first page that we are taking. So from that page, we will be able to direct to the other pages of those websites, right? So that particular, the very first page is called the home page, right? So now if you type startup.lk, so you will be always taken into my home page, right? Like this is the search list. So if I click on Star Labs, it's the home page that you are always been. Home page means it is not the page which is always named as home, but it's the page which every user is taken into the website at the very first place. So then after, from here, I can access all other things, right? So likewise. Okay, people. So regarding the notes, it's better you say services of internet and don't go for this list. Write the subheading World Wide Web, and it's better you highlighted the things. Hold on, I'll tell you what to be written. Yeah, you have to take the first para. It is one single sentence, and yeah, and also the second para as well, right? And the third para, it gives you the resources, right? And apart from that, yeah. So in the fourth para, you have to write it up to this point. Yeah, that will be enough, right? Others are general stuff, right? Which you know already. So regarding the World Wide Web, it's from the starting up to this point of the fourth para, which you need to copy it down. Okay, people. So I hope you are having had something new, and today the participation is a little bit poor. We just had altogether we had only 7 students with me now. Now I'm having 5 with me. There were 2 more, right? I don't know why the others are not being here, but anyway, I'm available in the record for the others as well. So I will put it in the website also. And in most of the cases, now the government has informed tuition people to start the working by 15th. So in most of the cases, we will be able to meet by next week. But we have to have a discussion before we meet. So I will open a discussion in your WhatsApp group with your parents, whether it is good to connect or not. it is up to them uh, for them to send you to my place, right? And we have to arrange this place in a distance, like arrange it with the distance, which will be a little bit harder for you to experience otherwise, right? So I'll discuss with your parents. If they agree, we can meet by next week, since the government is allowing us to have the classes. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. I don't mind continuing the class like this until your parents are satisfied to have the physical class. So, meanwhile, like until then, just keep the things up, right? So we will be able to finish up the lessons by next week, this lesson. So then after, we are going to create the websites by using the HTML. So in next day, we are going to talk about these concepts, and we will be able to finish it up. Okay, the fourth lesson is about the multimedia. So yeah, that will be an interesting one, and a practical one. So let's finish up these things. And in the next week, I'm going to talk about some how you are going to send the emails and all these things. There are several ways of sending the emails. So I'll show you the things and how it works. And hopefully we will be able to finish it up by next week, right? Okay, people. So I'm ending the session by this point. Thank you very much. And I will be sending you the link to the group if you need to refer it again. And the people who haven't here presented today. Right. So thank you very much for participating again. Have a nice weekend. Right. I'm going to end the
Thank you,
session.
sir.
Yes, Dua, thank you very much. Right. I'm going to end the session from here. Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.